I'm some jerk on the internet, and today we are going to continue watching yet another Kent Hovind video because that's kind of the thing we do around here, react to the outright insanity of that man. In this case, his Thursday video, which is ostensibly supposed to be his question and answer segment, Thursday and Friday, his evolution is dumb and dangerous, prove me wrong segments, whatever he wants to call them in the given particular week. But he apparently opens up continuing his Whack-an Atheist from Wednesday, which was Forrest Valkai. And as we saw in that previous video, Kent behaved like a complete child during the entire thing, which is kind of par for the course for the man, but it seems like he's getting more bitter and more just unhinged by the day. So without further ado, we're just going to fire right away. Usual statements. He's on YouTube. We all know he's on YouTube. I'm not going to stop mentioning that because he's not supposed to be on here. But of course, since when does this piece of shit give a damn about adhering to policy? You know, it's funny that people like Kent would be all for capitalism and all for places' rights. Baker doesn't want to do a cake for a gay couple. They have a right to refuse service. But when companies like YouTube don't want to allow him to use the service because he violated their terms of service, suddenly that doesn't matter. Just a funny thing to note. But let's get right into it. I should note, yep, it's in pixel vision, and I've got this set to 720, so I don't know if it's just YouTube being YouTube or if they really came in poorly, but we'll just see where things go.
Dinosaur Adventureland in Lenox, Alabama.
And yes, once again, it starts in the middle of him talking because they can never time these things properly.
This is Baptist Church. We are, let's see, straight north of Pensacola.
You can tell no one got a fake degree in broadcasting.
About 70 miles. It is December the 11th, 2025. Come on down, pay us a visit. Tonight, open mic. Call in if you disagree. We believe evolution is the dumbest and most dangerous religion.
I'm glad it's perfect time, and yeah, so far so good. It's the weekend, so we're doing everything that I didn't get to through the week.
In the history of the world, there's nothing scientific about it. It's stupid. It's a religion. You have to believe in evolution. Prove me wrong.
Hovind stressing there that religions are stupid. Way to go, Kent. Even your own straw man fucks you over.
Call in. We're on a bunch of different channels. Let's see, on X, on Rumble, and Facebook. If you can't find us somewhere, go somewhere else. They're all listed on drdino.com, upper left-hand corner there. That's our website, drdino.com. Okay, let's see. Tonight, the 11th. Coming up soon is, let's see, Christmas, a couple weeks. If you want to join us, come on down. We'll be your family for Christmas. Let's see, then January.
Say it with me, everyone. I'd rather die than spend Christmas at DAL.
15th, very famous day. Martin Luther King was born on my birthday. That was nice of him.
Oh, fuck you, you egotistical prick. Fuck you. Wow. He not only thought of that joke, but actually fucking said it. Wow. What a piece of shit, Kent.
Okay. We are an old-fashioned, independent, temperamental, fundamental, right-wing, chicken-eating Baptist church, King James Bible. And we believe the Bible is infallible, inspired, inerrant word of the living God. There you go. I don't sneak up on people. I tell them what I believe, okay? 100% true. God made everything, including dinosaurs, in 6 days, like he said he did, okay? Let's see. Noah took...
Okay, and prove your God, fuckface.
...from on the ark, and evolution theory is stupid. Real stupid. Call in if you disagree. Join us for the holidays. People come from all over the place. On our 777 Club, if you want to help us stay open. We've been open for free for almost 10 years now. Call 855-BIG-DINO, extension 1 or 2. Somebody will answer the phone. I'll answer if you call 3, but I don't know what's going on around here, so never mind. Okay? drdino.com. Oh, slow down.
I don't know what's going on around here. Kent, are you trying to claim plausible deniability? I think that's where you're going.
Sometimes I get food on my eye teeth and I can't see what I'm saying. Okay. All right, never mind. drdino.com. Okay. Forrest, we talked about him last night on Whack-an Atheist. And Joseph, did you get to see the George Janko show we did, a week ago? They aired it today. It's on today.
I've seen it twice.
You've seen it twice. What the fuck, Joseph? You spent 5 hours watching that garbage because, yeah, it's 2.5 fucking hours of just sucking off Kent.
Yeah. We were there. We saw it live. Okay. It was very good. Okay. I want to comment on the comments on Forrest's from his deluded followers. So let's talk about him here. It amazes me.
And yes, I do believe that is a new record for Kent making a very, very bad taste joke in his stream.
How often theists will rely on the argument that learning and changing is a terrible thing. Who did this one? Dragon? Somebody? Dragon? I think learning is a wonderful thing, and you guys ought to learn evolution is stupid. It really is. Nobody.
And, you know, I just need to remind everyone that Kent talks like this, just as a rule, as a regular thing. And yet I have some jerk off yesterday comment on how when they came into my last video, all they heard was ad hominems and profanity and da 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 da, you know, the usual things, because there are no arguments to defend Kent. So it's just attack the person who's ridiculing this clown, while simultaneously just saying that Kent is a good person when he's not. And I'm just thinking, how can you watch Kent do this stuff and not realize, like, how dumb do you have to be to not realize I am playing his game? I am fighting fire with fire here. I am giving him the same level of respect that he gives others, which is minimal. The only difference is I don't have magical words that I can't say because someone arbitrarily decided they're bad. Whoopity fucking do. Get over it. That's all I can say on that shit. But then, you know, again, not grasping that you want to talk about ad hominem. If you want to play that game, Kent does that all the time. I pointed out time and time again in the last video. But additionally, that it actually is irrelevant to the discussion intentionally, that he is wrong and he's a dumbass. He is wrong and he's a criminal. He is wrong and he's a piece of shit. The two are separated, but they combine together into the person, because, yeah, I'm talking about the person. Kent and others of his ilk like to hide behind, oh, just a discussion, just the argument. It's always that game, but it's never that game coming from them. Kent spends more time. Nothing he says is a point, but instead of trying to make his points, whatever they may be, i.e. just running his script, he spends most of it just attacking people. But when you do that to him, it's not okay. But again, the difference is I don't bring up him being a convicted felon, a spouse-abusing piece of shit, as part of why he's also wrong about the facts of reality. He could have been the nicest person in the world and still share these opinions about reality and been wrong, and vice versa. He could adhere to the exact same socio-political belief structures as I do, lack of theology, etc., and he'd still be a piece of shit by my standards because he's a piece of shit. He would just be right about other things. The two are completely irrelevant, and the only person blending them together is Kent. So if you're a Hovendite watching this and getting this far, I hope you can comprehend that. Chrissy's being mean, talking about people comprehending things. Kent says the same language. I'm behaving no different from Kent, insofar as it being a means to an end. Doing it my own way, of course, but still giving him the respect that he deserves, which is none. Let's continue.
You ever seen a cow produce a non-cow? You have to imagine it, SpongeBob style. Just imagine you're related to a potato. Oh, how do you not see that? Anyway, okay.
See, please, Hovendites, explain to me what the point of that actually was. What this incredulity that just cuts off mid-statement with a scoff, what the point is there? What was articulated? What complex thought was given? None whatsoever. Whereas anyone who would respond to that would explain the fundamental nature that obviously all life is fundamentally related. That it just plain is. So to ridicule the idea is just showing that you don't fucking understand what is obviously there. The facts are.
Let's see. Hey, Forrest, I used to be a Christian and a creationist. As I made my journey away from that, you helped me a ton understanding evolution and breaking away from that ridiculousness. Thanks for all the help and education. Well, Gauntlet, You got deceived, okay? You weren't led away into truth. You were led away into darkness. Call me anytime. I'll debate you.
Yes, darkness, not, being told you're automatically evil by default because some book says a thing, saying that you need redemption because some book says a thing, saying that someone had to sacrifice himself to themselves on your behalf unconditionally, but you still have to conditionally accept this, otherwise you still don't get the security from an eternal punishment that this all-loving deity just decides to send you to regardless, except you send yourself, even though it's the deity's decision whether you do or don't go. All of that is good, but the actual way the world is, the amazingness of biodiversity, of the connection all life on the planet shares, of the actual nature of the cosmos and the mysteries out there, from the grandest scale and how gravity ties everything together to subquantum level. That's the darkness. Give me a fucking break, Kent. A lot of people don't like this analogy, this statement, this comparison. And I say it a bit tongue in cheek, but science flies you to the moon, religion flies you into buildings.
Or anybody else, okay? You're wrong. God made this world. Let's see. It's sad how smug and holier than thou they act when they are clearly wrong about everything.
Ding, 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 ding. We have a winner.
What on earth? You're talking about Forrest? I know.
No, you dumbass. You're literally doing it right here, Kent. This turnaround is exactly the shit he's talking about. That, oh, I know, it's Forrest. No, you don't. No, you fucking...
acts smug all the time and clearly wrong about everything. You got that one right. Okay, let's see. Give one example in which information is randomly
Very likely he does have a wife beater under his shirt.
changed that it produces qualitative functional process over none. I'll wait. Good comment. There are none. There are no examples, okay? Define information. See, this next person, Mike, whatever it is, instead of answering the question, he says, well, what's the definition of is?
No, the question is malformed. Y'all just say words like information and just presume it's just you don't define it so that it can be whatever the person listening thinks it is. And so then the people who follow you, Nimrods, think that there's actually some meat to that thing when there's not. It's not a defined term. Once you define what's actually being spoken about, then one can dissect the concept. This is critical thinking that these are skills you don't have. This is in no way, shape, or form. And of course, you're going back to a Clinton era thing. It's been 30 fucking, not 30 years, but over 25 fucking years. Get over it, Kent. Definitions are important because we need to understand the actual idea and not just what someone interprets the word to mean. You need to clarify concepts. This is not up for debate. That is how logic works. That is how discussing concepts works, Kent. All right? Just straight up.
It's like Bill Clinton. Remember that? They asked him a question.
Remember that?
What's the definition of is? You remember that, brother? Change the topic. Yeah. Okay. Let's see.
No, it's asking clarifying questions, and that's something I truly cannot comprehend. It just pisses me off to no end when people get offended when you ask clarifying questions. It's like I am trying to ensure that I have maximum understanding of what is being discussed here to preclude any chance of confusion happening. Cease being upset about this so that we can carry on the discussion. I guess it's just something stupid people do.
Oh, next one. That steering wheel looks like it came from an Egyptian chariot is a golden joke. Kedar. Forrest apparently thinks chariots had steering wheels.
It's a joke about how old it looks, Kent. Jesus fucking Christ, can you not comprehend anything? I know you get it's a joke. You're just being a petty prick. That's what you do. It's not charming. It's not cute. You're some old asshole who's pissed off that he was once at the top of a shitty game of lies and deception, fucked around and found out, and now you're an irrelevant piece of shit. except to the most deeply entrenched in the layers of feces members of the grander cult following of evangelical Christianity.
Okay. He's really ill informed, would be the kind way to say it. I'm more used to the word, you're calling people stupid. So, anyway, okay. Hello, I got my tonsils out when I was a kid. I could not breathe out of my nose at all. I was sent to the principal's office for blowing my nose so hard and so much for attention. My mom took me to a doctor, and the doctor straight up lied and said there was nothing wrong with me. We went to another doctor, and she was like, "Oh, you poor thing, you can't breathe at all." In my case, it was necessary. Don't know why, but that part of the video really cheesed me off for some reason. Talking about vestigials, tonsils being vestigial. We'll get that in just a second here. 2 authorities who let you down, gold stars for the mom and a professional doctor. Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's ridiculous how often, quote unquote, professionals in fields will let people down. I feel I was let down by a great number of people throughout my formative years on not picking up on patterns for conditions that should have been diagnosed, for support that should have been there. Just straight up.
The way people are treated medically should not be based on their problems and their bodies. It goes on to blabber for a minute here. Had my own tonsils
I'm just not going to read any of this.
removed as a kid. Similar reason, but didn't completely solve the problem. Okay. On one of these days, I want to regain my faith in the human species while watching creationist apologetics video. All it would take is for the host to say, "Oh, wow, I'm wrong." Okay, my colleague.
Yeah, that's the thing, Kent, is that most people, when presented with keywords or actual evidence, not random stupid claims for something, they'll acknowledge they were wrong. They'll accept this new information and restructure their view of reality with this new information in mind. You, however, have your explicit preconceptions, and that's it. It has to be that way. Now, of course, you want to turn things around and say, "Oh, well, I'll just think everything's evolution. I'll just think that way. You can't think any other way." No, no, no. The thing you keep forgetting is we're past that. We are well past the point of not knowing these various facets of reality that you act like we don't have a clue on. We're way beyond that. We're into the super detailed intricacies of most of reality at this stage already. In a couple of 100 years, went from not having a clue about biology to understanding genomics pretty goddamn well and being able to, seems like, pretty accurately classify life, both extant and extinct. But your ilk want to act like we're clueless. The only clueless people are you. The world has moved on from fairy tales. You might wish to do the same. It reminds me of course, everyone's favorite little moment in astronomy when Pluto was reclassified. And you see the intelligence of people and how they reacted to it. Some just being emotionally tied to, it's still a planet. Uh, some being like, well, what is it? Not understanding that we redefined the criteria for what a proper planet, a major planet, would be versus what a dwarf planet is, which Pluto got reclassified as. And some just, literally not understanding anything about it at all, but still having an emotional attachment to it all. Whereas I was just like, wait, what? Then when I learned the details, I'm like, oh, that makes complete sense. Okay, cool. That's all it took, was understanding. And once I saw, oh, we have redefined these things, therefore this object no longer meets that criteria, we're done. Problem solved. It's not that hard. I didn't argue about it. I didn't whine about it, even though I didn't like it at first. Got used to it. Because the funny thing is, Kent, a lot of it doesn't freaking matter. But when you base your entire view of reality around falsehoods, around Bronze Age fairy tales, and you're told none of that shit adds up to reality, you're gonna have that kind of vitriolic internal response of, it has to. Your feelings, They're going to use the good old right wing quote because it's just as valid for you guys. Facts don't care about your feelings. The reality is what the reality is, and it doesn't include your magic sky daddy. Get over it, Kent. You're not alone in this. All the other religions are wrong too. At least anything that makes claims as grandiose as what you believe.
Okay, you're wrong. I said it, Joseph, didn't I? Okay.
Also, tell me, am I on fire today? Because I feel like I am on fire today. I might want to excerpt sections of this stream for later individual publication.
Nice, but then you don't have faith, which would have showed evidence, and that they can access easily, evidence honestly. I'd like to see the evidence for evolution. There is none. Here's the show. Call in.
It's been shown at just to the nth degree, Kent. You say that. You say there's none. I like to see the evidence for God. There is none, except my statement's actually correct, so I can't really make that comparison.
Whatever your name is there, okay? I'll move the bar lower. Be ecstatic to see one say, I don't know. Oh, okay, you don't know. I agree with you, okay?
Yeah, seriously. And I mean this. Like, please, if you are watching any of my old videos, any of my current stuff, take timestamps. Leave it in a comment, a timestamp of X to Y that needs to be clipped, and I will do my damnedest to make it into an individual video to put up as a clip. Because I would love to do that, but I also do not want to go through my streams. I never want to rewatch this stuff. So yeah. And hey, Polyphonics.
Let's see, zookeeper. Oh, that's another topic. Okay, Patrick Urish, one of our trustees of.
And yes, Rosina, it's very early. I am just going to try to knock out everything I can today.
Ministry here, longtime friend of mine. I think he's a genius on nutrition and health. What about this tonsil stuff? So this kid had to go get tonsils taken out. Patrick, bring Patrick in there. Hey, Patrick, how's life in Pennsylvania? You guys?
Ugh, this guy again. Is this Hoven wife number 5? Oh man, the dude looks like such a goober here, and I don't mean to be mean to him. He comes off looking like he looks like a caricature. Whatever. I don't hate this guy. I don't know what the emotions I feel about him are, but it's at least not hate. It's a skeeziness, or I don't wish to really hear him talk, but he doesn't have a fucking clue about anything. But Pluto's reclassification, it's a matter of just like, we refined the way we describe things. Where's the harm there? Where's the problem? I don't get it. I don't get it.
Snow up there?
Oh yes, we got a lot of snow up here. It's freezing.
Keep it.
How we doing down in DAL?
Well, it was 70 today. It's not too bad for a high for December. So
no, I would say not. So some tonsils. Are tonsils vestigial?
No.
Yes, Rosina reported the channel for medical misinformation and ban evasion at this point in the video. I am neither suggesting nor speaking out against following fellow viewers doing such. Do as you see fit. It ain't my business. I ain't your daddy. So, just gonna say, do what you want to do.
Absolutely not. Absolutely not. So yes, my name is Patrick Urish. I'm on the board for.
Also, I'm not sure whether tonsils would be classified as vestigial or not. I had mine removed in 3rd grade. It was December. Actually, it was right about 32 years ago. Jesus Christ. I'm old. It was right around mid-December. And it still didn't help. I've always had easy sinus infections, upper, ear problems, etc. It kind of helped, but yeah, I don't know. Glands are kind of their own thing as opposed to straight up organs, but I neither know nor really care. It's just the principle that, hey, I think the bigger point was more of, the thing is that these people because I remember Forrest in the video, Forrest brought up the tonsils, and it was more it just bringing up the fact that they tend to cause more problems doing their job than they help with, and that we have learned that that it can be better to just remove them. But again, I neither know nor care beyond the fact of being someone who has tended to have upper respiratory issues and where it affected me as a kid and to this day.
Creation Science Evangelism. I have a health practice up in PA. I'm an integrative health practitioner. And this notion that tonsils
I'm a complete fucking fraud. I'm one step below chiropractor.
are vestigial, they're unnecessary. It is ridiculous. It is.
You do live fine without them. And that's not a singular criteria. So don't go into, oh, I can take your arms and legs off and you live fine. It's like, problems arise in a different sense from that. The tonsils you really don't need, so one can make the argument.
Just laughable. Tonsils are two oval-shaped masses at the back of the throat. And honestly, they're very, very necessary. They're very helpful to the body. To say they're not doing anything, they could just be ripped out willy-nilly, is ridiculous. What are tonsils good for?
No one's saying they, quote, can just be ripped out willy-nilly, but when it's obvious that there are more problems there than not, they can be safely removed and not impact the quality of life, or can indeed improve the quality of life of the individual, as they did me. They serve their purpose. Just turns out I'm really susceptible to respiratory shit.
Tonsils,
which makes me amazed that, as far as I can tell, I've never caught the Rona.
Are so obviously a key part of the immune system. They protect, they defend, help defend the body against foreign invaders, against pathogens, especially in children.
Okay, so keeping them has been found to have better outcomes. Okay, so perhaps my tonsillectomy was, in retrospect, a mistake. Don't know. See, I don't know enough on it. But I don't think these clowns do either, so.
People who they're ripping them out of just willy-nilly, they are integral in children. And not only
willy-nilly, is that a medical term?
That, but the tonsils are actually a first line of defense in the immune system.
You know, it just hit me. It just hit me with this guy, seeing him like this. He looks like a character actor. Like he is literally just playing a character here. That's what it is. He's giving me... He doesn't look anything like him, but he's giving me Jim Carrey vibes with the presentation. If that makes sense. That's the vibe I'm getting of character portrayal. That he's playing the buffoon, the intelligent buffoon character.
Tonsils will literally monitor and respond to pathogens that enter the body with these immune responses. They initiate immune responses, and these immune responses will produce antibodies. What are antibodies? Antibodies are
Ooh, don't get me started on Christian assholes and people interfering with relationships. That's the story of my last one. One of these days I'll have to share with y'all the lovely story of some of the happiest moments of my life and how everything came crashing down. One of these days. Maybe when I'm back on the mountaintop.
Little proteins that will identify, they'll identify the pathogen and neutralize the pathogen. Think of viruses, bacteria, funguses. This is what the tonsils do. Not only that, but the tonsils themselves consist of a number of immune cells. So what are the tonsils in the body? You could think of these as the immune system surveillance, or the immune surveillance system. They survey the body, looking for pathogens.
They survey the body. The whole body. No, I think they just kind of sit there, dude. And just kind of do what they do. In the area they do that in. And, got Bruce Wayne here asking, was a tonsillectomy painful? No. I was knocked unconscious, usual anesthetic, took to that well. Woke up and immediately wanted Coke and ice cream. Straight up. immediately wanted soda because I'm a soda junkie, always have been, and ice cream. Throat didn't feel any worse than it had been, being sick off and on throughout third grade. I remember, and I was actually thinking about this relative, like the other day for no reason. Got to, I was in third grade. I was like 8. Got to pick a toy from this box. I picked this little tack helicopter thing. I mean, it was kind of big. Fit an action figure in there. It was cool. And yeah, they let me keep the breathing mask. The anesthetic was put in through. Um, and yeah, that's what I remember that, and getting some cards from all the kids in my class, third grade. My third grade teacher was freaking awesome. Ran into her when I worked at Toys R Us too. So I was like, near 25 years later, and she was happy to see me. But yeah, um, that was that. Apparently, I looked like shit, but I felt fine. Like, having major surgery, or at least moderate surgery, and so it's gonna leave you a little rough looking. But yeah, it wasn't so bad.
They produce antibodies to tag the pathogens and neutralize them. They are very integral. So I tell people this, and also you're kind of stealing from Dr. Hovind here, but if your car is running out of gas and it's having issues, maybe fill up the gas tank, don't rip out the gas tank. And the same thing could be said with the tonsil.
No, the tonsils are not a fuel storage mechanism for an internal combustion engine. What the fuck, dude? Your analogy is shit.
And tonsillitis. A lot of tonsillitis, believe it or not, and this isn't medical advice, but it's caused from low levels of vitamins.
This isn't medical advice, trying to disclaim. Here's the part Rosina's mentioned that she reported. So I must stress, for the sake of my own channel, this dude's a fucking crackpot. These guys are crackpots. Do not take any advice from these clowns. Do not take medical advice from me either. I am no professional. But I know enough to know that these guys are fucking crackpots. In my unprofessional opinion. So this is being rebroadcast as a matter of documenting the insanity of these videos and not to promote anything whatsoever. Okay? Okay. Thank you for coming to my TED Talk. Visit the gift shop on the way out. I need to set up the gift shop. Probably going to do that later today. But let's continue.
Vitamin C and vitamin D a lot of times. And if you fill up the tank with vitamin C and vitamin D, a lot of these inflammation of the tonsils, tonsillitis, doesn't actually really happen. So don't be careless with getting them ripped out. Sometimes there might be a necessity if an appendix is infected, tonsils are infected, but the tailbone.
And yeah, the kids being born with tails is pretty freaky in kind of an awesome way. And it usually is just a little fleshy thing, but the fact that the genetic makeup still can cause that to be a thing, that it doesn't get reabsorbed, is kind of fascinating. And no, do not Google image tonsil stones. Fuck that noise. Ugh.
The appendix, the tonsils are not vestigial in any way, shape, or form, and it's very obvious.
Well, if a person has their tonsils taken out, like I did when I was 5 years old or whatever, it's just standard practice back then,
Yep.
Then something else has to work harder. That's all.
Not yes and no, just depends. But Kent, you know what you also would have gotten as standard practice at some point? Some vaccinations. And you sure as hell are against those.
If you cut off one of your fingers, if you cut off a finger, you can still pick things up, but the other three got to work harder.
That's it.
And so the tonsils, you can live without your tonsils. You can live without both your legs and both your arms and both your eyes and both your ears too. Does that prove you don't need them?
That logic is just fucking terrible. That is not the criteria. And yeah, I mean, my tonsillectomy, like I said, I didn't feel anything. I was fine. So whatever they had me on was good stuff, and they did the procedure clean enough. So I can say that much.
This is so stupid. And Forrest commenters, they think they're really smart. Look at tonsils. Even if tonsils were vestigial, they're not. But that's an example of losing something, not gaining something.
That also is in no way, shape, or form the criteria for evolution. So, again, you're still wrong there, Kent. Oh, what's that? Did I just counter what Kent said without insulting him? what was that person saying in the comment on my other video, that all you hear is ad homs and stuff? Maybe if you tried listening a little harder, you'd hear where I just very matter-of-factly contest the pathetic claims Kent has from his script, and then call him a piece of shit following that, because he's a piece of shit independent of what he believes. I don't know why I have to keep stressing that, but that's how it goes.
That's the opposite of what they need for evolution.
Right.
Deal with these guys all the time. Patrick, is that your?
I'm gonna be real. I'm actually terrified of having appendicitis. I don't have any reason to suspect anything's going on, but there is no fucking way I could afford to have the surgery done. And it's like, what the fuck do I do? Just get it done and pay for the rest of my fucking life? With those Nazis at hospitals wanting their money? I'm still paying off the damn nosebleed from 2018.
No, that's your website. What's your website? People can get a hold of you.
My website is Yurish. That's YURISHIHP.com. And my number there is 570-814-5059. Please, if you have any questions, call me.
I just love that Joseph put it in as the name, and then the comment is the phone number. That's so weird, man. That is so freaking weird.
Email, check out my website. And like Dr. Hovind said, even if they are vestigial, that is the opposite of what evolutionists need. I love how Dr. Hovind says, what happened? Do we just slowly lose everything and that's how we got it all? It is.
I don't know shit. Okay.
It is ridiculous. It is ridiculous.
You enjoy the cold weather. We get rain down here, but we don't have to shovel it. I like that part.
That's a good thing. All
Come
right.
visit anytime, brother. Thank you so much.
Yep. God bless.
Thank you.
Thanks.
All right.
I mean, I'm not a fan of flesh-eating virus. That's one that scares me. Let's not discuss it further.
Thank you. Well, Forrest, in his video, he shows the book, which I've got beside me over here, that the other couple was using, and says, look, there's more evidence for evolution with embryology. We've covered that 100 times. Forrest, you are way behind on your science. You're actually lying if you believe you probably know embryology has been proven wrong since 1874, but you're so desperate for evidence to support your stupid.
No, it hasn't. And you've literally acknowledged it in your discussion with AJ, yet simultaneously still want to claim that it's wrong. But it's like you're not saying what's wrong. What the whole field of science, that whole study, the study of embryos, is wrong. What are you trying to say there, Kent? Can you formulate a cognizant thought? Coherent thought, I should say. Incognizant thought, honestly. Or are they all just random neuron flashes in the same way someone sticking electrodes to a frog leg gets some hopping action out?
Religion, you'll throw out anything, won't you? Another one is as people comment on his channel put out there. Put this one up, Joseph. This guy, Mike, says, for decades, I was a zookeeper, manager, lecturer. Our zoo specialized in reptiles, but also had some small bats and other mammals, birds and parakeets, etc. Okay. One of my favorite segments of my show was showing the vestigial toenails on the python and the boa.
Yep. Why would they have that, Kent?
The oldest family of snakes alive today. There is no such thing as the oldest family of snakes. All snakes were created on the same day. Okay. You're brainwashed, Mike. Okay. I'll debate you if you want. Call me 855-BIG-DINO, extension 4 to schedule a debate. Okay. Although mainly used for foreplay, I've seen pythons cross a room and have those toes actually walk as they crawl. Left over from the days when they were more in line with their fellow squaw mates, the lizards. Well, then you do not know anything about lizards, okay, and their anatomy. Those are not claws. They're not toenails. They're not vestigial legs, okay?
Then what are they, Kent?
Like you have to imagine that part of it.
Okay, then what are they, Kent?
Let's see.
Are you not going to say what they are? Are you just not going to bring them up, Kent? Are you not going to say what they are? I'm asking what they are. Why aren't you saying what they are? Because you're sure as hell certain of what they're not, so you must be certain of what they are, Kent. Are you? Or are you just going to quote a random Bible verse with a shitty illustration on it because you don't have anything? Because you're pathetic.
You've destroyed the faith of a lot of kids coming through your zoo then. You're going to answer to God for that. You might want to talk to him about that before you go, okay? Read Matthew 18.
Please. If your God's out there, they have a fuck ton to answer for, and I'll judge that son of a bitch to the nth degree.
6. Okay, let's see. We have, and I had, and someone stole it from me, snakeskin in Pensacola, Florida.
What's wrong? You upset that Eric took your snakeskin? You gonna cry about it, Kent? Gonna cry? My son stole my snakeskin and my Swiss Army knife and my underwear.
15 and a half foot albino Burmese python. By the way, if anybody down south can get me one down in South America, I'd like another one. Okay. It shows these little claws.
Hey, if anyone can just give me a fucking 15-foot python skin, that'd be great, I'm not asking for much. We're just a little church trying to spread the gospel. By the way, I need a 15-foot python skin. The fuck, Kent?
And down here. There they are. These claws are tiny, and tiny bones are not vestigial legs. They are used in mating. Has nothing to do with walking on land. Nothing. Never did. Okay, we know what they're for.
Then what were... yeah. Go on.
Small pythons, males have them as well. Okay? There they are, right there. They're not toenails. They're little bitty claws attached to bones that go up inside the body. Right there. Okay?
And what's the point, Kent?
Pythons and boa constrictors have tiny hind leg bones, as this textbook says, American Museum of Natural History, buried in muscles toward the tail. Such features, either useless or poorly suited for performing specific tasks, are described as vestigial. They're not poorly suited. They're perfect for performing the task they're for. They're intriguing evidence of the evolutionary history. You are lying at university. Let's see, where is this at? American Museum of Natural History. I'll take all of you on in a debate. You're lying. This is not true, okay? The textbook used at Northern Michigan University when I spoke up there said boa constrictors have hip bones and rudimentary hind legs. They are stupid of their snake anatomy, okay? These little claws are used for mating.
Oh, there you go. It's always used for mating. You ever notice that? Every single thing happens to be used for mating. The whale's hip bone used for mating. They can't say scoot over, honey. The claws on that. Mm-hmm.
The textbook says rudimentary hind legs. These are not rudimentary hind legs.
And let's ignore Kent not understanding that repurposing and having no purpose are two very different things, and retaining some of their primitive purposes but not others, or retaining relevant functionality is still not going to disqualify something as being vestigial based on the criteria that are actually used to classify such as such. Because they're obviously not actual fucking legs anymore. And yes, they were actual fucking legs.
The snake does not have any arms, and he cannot say, scoot over, honey. These claws are used
God, you're a pervert, Kent.
during mating to maneuver their mate into position. They do not have anything to do with legs, and they never did. This is lie number 26 on my video number 4 series.
What's that? The one that Aronra tore apart piece by piece by piece? You ever going to address that, Kent? No, of course not, because he makes too much fucking fun of you and shows how absolutely insane you are with it.
Get my video series, $50 for the whole thing, okay? And
there's the grift.
Watch it, copy it, return it, get your money back. We know these little claws and bones have a function today. We know that, okay? Anybody who knows snake anatomy knows, yeah, they're using them. You have to imagine they had a different function in the past, and you cannot study the past.
You have to imagine there was a god that just farted everything into existence. That was in the past, and you can't study the past. So we got some book that says a thing, but it's okay. That's just lines on paper. But when it's our lines on paper, it's good. But when the other science books have lines on paper, that's wrong.
You can't go back there. It's all imagination. That's all evolution is. And folks, we are not against science. I love science. Evolution has nothing to do with science. And evolution.
Yeah, Rosina brings up a very good point that the Bible's pretty clear that all snakes used to walk and that snakes were created long after the 6-day creation. Kind of funny. Kind of funny.
Is only supported by a bunch of lies. Get my video number 4. We're against using lies to support a theory. If you knew that a maniac was going to deliver poisoned milk to your kid's school tomorrow morning, what would you do? Wouldn't you do
Well, let's see. This quote-unquote maniac can be identified, verified to exist. This poison milk can be identified, verified. I mean, you're all talking about stuff that can actually be found to be valid in reality, as opposed to your concept, the analogy you're going to, that is just lines on paper, Kent. It's just some interpretation of some book people think says a thing.
About anything to stop them? Well, the poison milk has been delivered in the textbooks, okay? The kids are being taught evolution. It's already been delivered. Something about it, okay?
Yes, understanding the nested hierarchy of life is somehow horrible.
If you can't get it out of your textbooks, at least inform your kids so they don't learn it, they don't believe it. I tell parents, if you tell your kids, if they go to school and the test question says, how old is the earth? They should say, or if they say, do snakes have vestigial hind legs? They should say, the textbook says yes, however, this is stupid.
And I'd mark that shit wrong in a heartbeat.
Write that on the test, see what they say. Okay, questions or comments?
Yeah, it's wrong. Your religion doesn't belong in actual, fucking science, and vice versa. But you have a religion. No, you don't. It doesn't qualify as religion. No, in no way does anything scientific qualify remotely as a religion.
Joseph?
Yeah, I think we have somebody in the studio.
And now we move on to the autofillate Kent Hovind part of this video. So for the next 16 minutes, it's just going to be Kent being tossed softball questions by his cult followers. So we are going to jump him up to... Oh, it's acting up again. No, give me the higher speed. Damn it. We're going to have to do this at normal speed.
Keep those on.
Oh, keep those on, okay.
Actually, wait, you know what? I have a solution. Probably. Maybe. No! Damn it! Alright, let's do this at normal speed. At least we get to see whoever this jolly fellow on the right is. How you doing, mate? Good to see you. Like the chair. Room's a little bland, but
Yes, hello, who's this? Can't hear him. Nope, you're muted.
Oh yeah, from the king of tech difficulties, to judgmentally be like, nope, can't hear you, you're muted.
Muted on his end? According to evolution, it should get better automatically.
Why don't you pray for it to work? See how that goes, Kent.
No, still nothing. Timeout. 5 minutes. Okay, put somebody else up there, Joseph. See if you can get it figured out.
Okay.
Okay? What other questions we got? Jerry, thanks for your time today. A real honor. My question, what do you think is meant by have I not said yes?
A real honor. Oh, man. Oh, if talking to Kent is a real honor, then any of y'all who have ever gotten voice messages from me, or I've even given the time of day to, oh, you have just been so infinitely blessed by my presence. That's something at least I would say if I was an egomaniac like Kent. Instead, that feels extremely creepy, and I just happen to have an awesome group of friends, i.e. y'all, who hang out with me, be it here in the video chat or Discord or wherever else. And we have some fun, and most of the time I forget to get back to people because I'm terrible about that. And I apologize.
Are gods. Who was that in situation in the text? Was that Jesus talking about, he was quoting their prophets, okay? Their false prophets. I think it was probably a legal maneuver he was there, they wanted to kill him. He didn't know it wasn't his time yet. He's willing to die, but not right then, okay? So look at Matthew Henry commentary for more on that. But notice it's a small g, okay? And just because somebody said they're gods doesn't mean they are. A lot of people claim that.
Wait, we had a fundy in here? Did we have a moron come in and I missed it?
Lucifer told Eve, if you eat off that tree, you get to be God. If you read Ezekiel 28 and Isaiah 14, Lucifer wants to be God. So I think it was a quote from some of their current writers of the day, some of their heroes of intellectual, knowledge back then. Okay, let's see. Nino, I still think you could say the claws are the remnants from the fall in the garden. They're used for mating.
Yeah, look at Kent just avoiding it. Good comment, Nina Savant. Good comment. I'm glad you're not banned from all of Kent's activities. By the way, we should note that that is a YouTube comment coming in from our friend Nina Savant into Kent Hoven's channel, which means that the channel we are viewing this on is most definitely a first-party source because it is linked to their Restream account.
There's no hip bones attached to them. If they had legs, we know when God told the serpent, you got to crawl on your belly. It's not a curse to crawl on your belly if you're already crawling on your belly. So they either had legs or arms or wings. Maybe all three. We don't know.
No. Nothing has wings and arms. You can have arm wings, like, like bats. Technically birds, but I mean, you don't have Pegasus going on, bro. Right?
But these claws do not have anything to do with that. I don't think so. Okay, let's see. Matthew, I have a question. Is there a natural...
Oh, we had a fucking fundy come in and complain about fucking profanity? What a fucking pussy-ass piece of shit, am I right?
remedy for nasal polyps? Call Patrick. He would know. That's the guy's phenomenal. Walking encyclopedia when it comes to vitamins and minerals for health issues. Just call him, okay? Henry, Satan will create the lie to play on the ignorance of the masses. Yep, and Forrest is leading a bunch of them right over the cliff.
All right, we'll try Joel again.
Kent, how do y'all know that y'all are actually worshiping a loving God and that it's not just an evil entity lying to everyone? How do you know that? You don't. I know that kind of goes into almost into the same realm as solipsism. How do you not know you're not a vein or just a brain in a vat? But I mean, seriously, you have to consider that. What if the deity you're worshiping is actually the evil one? And that's the way I look at the Bible and everything in it. That it's actually the evil one is the central deity.
Try Joel again. Okay. Hello, testing.
Testing. Can you hear me?
I can hear you fine. Yes, sir. Now, finally. Go ahead, Joel.
Hi there, Joel. How you doing? I love how animated you are. I'm not even being sarcastic if it sounds that way. I like his, the first vibes I get from this guy are pleasant. So let's see where he goes.
Nice. Well, if you're going to keep it really simple, Lot's wife, is she typed and shadowed as righteous or wicked?
I missed I missed a few words. Lot's wife, was she right?
Well, there's some kids back there having some fun. We got a family man here.
Righteous or wicked? Is that your question?
Yes, sir. And I have a background to that. If you want me to expound on why that is a puzzle, I'm happy to expound.
Okay, quickly, go ahead.
Yes, sir.
Oh, quickly, go ahead. Kent doesn't want... Fine example. Kent gets something that anyone who cares about theology, it wants to be a theologian like Kent acts like he is, would love to get into. But Kent doesn't care about anything that isn't a means to an end for his evolutionism versus creation debate obsession.
Well, we go to 2 Peter chapter 2, we see that Lot is righteous. It says it like 2 or 3 times that he is righteous. And so there you go. There's your answer. It gets a little bit more hairier. We know that she's wicked. We know that Lot is his whole family disobeys things about 4 times in Genesis chapter 19. It's ridiculous. The back talk he does to the angels of God. Yeah. It's ridiculous. But so it's so easy to think that wicked. However, she was not consumed with the wicked, just like Genesis chapter 18, verse 23, Abraham, the morning of, I talked about. God cannot destroy.
Oh man, I wish his audio wasn't cutting out. I'm actually invested in this. I want to hear what our friend here has to say. I like this guy. I like this guy a lot.
The righteous.
No pun intended. Lot.
With the wicked.
Right.
You're
cutting in and out, brother. I'm only hearing part of this. You're cutting in and out. Something's wrong. Talk closer to your mic or something.
Ken Hovind giving people tech advice. Fuck you, Kent.
Okay. So she was not consumed with the wicked. That's point 1. She turned into a what?
Pillar of salt.
Pillar of salt. Is God careless in how he does details? Doesn't he know Matthew 5, verse 13? You are the salt of the earth.
Mhm.
Was he forgetful of that? How about Revelation chapter 3, verse 12?
I mean, I'm not kidding. I absolutely love where this guy is going. I don't care about any of this stuff, the internal consistencies of the story, but the fact that he is discussing this in such a way that he's trying to articulate this kind of stuff, this is what I'd expect instead of the way Hovind behaves. The kind of person Kent and his ilk think they are what this guy actually is. And you'll notice, I haven't said anything about the guy. I've had no reason to mock him, no reason to do anything other than be complimentive and supportive to him as he discusses this with Hovind, who obviously does not care. And I feel bad that he really wants to discuss this with someone who is supposed to be an expert on this subject. Yet the man doesn't care. So the poor guy is wasting his own skill and intelligence with this subject in the theology on someone who's just a grifter. What's his name? Joel. Everyone in the chat, tell Joel what you think. If you're going to be nice. I mean, someone out there probably wants to be a dick. It ain't going to be me. But I think you all get that same vibe. You feel for Joel because it's like, oh man, you're talking to somebody who just doesn't care. You poor, poor dude. Oh, I feel bad for him. I really do. This is sad. Not for your fault, Joe. It's all Hovind's end.
I will make the overcomers a pillar. Very interesting, is it not?
Okay, so get to your point here. You're saying Lot's wife was wicked and Lot was righteous, but God turned her into a pillar of salt.
Look at that. Get to your point here. Fuck you, Kent. No active listening. No attempt to carry on a discussion, a dialogue. See, Kent doesn't see this as fruitful. Oh, man. This is... This poor dude.
What's your point?
My point is we must create a category. Daddy's a little busy. We must create a category for her. And I don't know about you, do you see a rapture passage in Genesis 19? I know I do.
The angels came and pulled Lot out of the city. Yeah. There's more to the backstory.
Was this before or after people were offered to be molested?
And that God had told Abraham decades before that, leave your family and go.
They paved paradise and put up a parking lot. That's what happened to the Garden of Eden. It got paved over. It's now a gas station in Saudi Arabia.
To this promised land. He didn't quite obey. He took Lot with him. That started the whole problem. Abraham's disobedience on that little one. And then Lot chose to go towards Sodom. And then his two daughters apparently picked up the evil practices of Sodom because they said, oh, let's have sex with dad and get pregnant by our own dad. Yeah, be careful.
That's a type.
Sodomy. Family Guy reference there.
Yeah.
True. Okay. The category that I propose is that Lot's family is a picture of they must be categorized as righteous but disobedient, therefore chastised and disciplined of the Lord. They fail. They fail to make it to rapture number 1. Do they sound like the bride of Christ? By no means. You can find the bride of Christ in the chapter before, chapter 18. Abraham and Sarah have a trouble-free rapture, while Lot has a troublesome rapture. Lot's daughters with...
Seriously, I mean, I don't think the man will ever see it, but in the chat, please, y'all say something positive about our friend Joel here. This guy is genuine. And he's just discussing this or wanting to discuss this from what amounts to an academic perspective inside of the theology. I'm totally down for that. And yet it's wasted on Hovind. Oh no, I feel like this sounds wacky, but just putting the good vibes out there, it has some value in the grand scheme, so Fire away. I'll put them on screen.
Them, I know that's a mess. That's a type and a shadow of the Great Tribulation, the end of the Great Tribulation, where that is old and there's no one else around. And it's a type and a shadow of, how do you word it? Very few to pick from. Therefore, at the beginning of the kingdom, after the sheep and goats judgment, it's like a mustard seed. Very few to pick from, and it blossoms into a multi-million seed.
Whoa, we get a surprise Pluto pilot on screen.
Is what the kingdom is going to be like.
All right. Well, we got to be careful taking typologies too far, you know, especially if it violates other scriptures. But I'll think about that. I appreciate that. Thank you for calling, Joel. All right.
Kent will never think of it again. Goodbye, Joel. It was a pleasure seeing you in this stream. You are a highlight of this video, much like our friend Pluto Pilot is about to be.
You're welcome.
Who else we have here? Pluto, again. Yay. Did you get converted yet?
No. Have you accepted evolution yet?
Oh, that was great. Oh, fire with fire. Just so direct.
I accept that there are variations within the same kind, but they're limited. I've accepted that all along. That's not evolution, though. You don't accept evolution. You believe, Pluto. You believe in evolution. You don't accept it. You believe in it. But go ahead.
No, you accept it because there's data and facts backing it up.
Show me this. Show me this data.
Well, actually, I called them about this vestigial stuff, and
Okay.
a quick Google search shows that the tonsils are actually not considered to be vestigial.
Oh, well, Google got something right. Yay.
And but you keep going on about the well in the pelvis, those bones down there, and how science says that they are functionless, right?
No, I think most scientists say they do function as part of the whale's anatomy for making babies. But then they go on. Then they go beyond that. Beyond that, in imagination, maybe they used to be legs. That's stupid. Tell them I said so.
Well, I was going to say, you didn't. It wasn't you who found a beached whale and dissected it and found those bones and the muscles attached and discovered that they had a function in mating, right?
Oh, I didn't do that. No.
You read it in a science book.
I love science books.
Oh, very good point. One of those things my brain never clicks onto is that, it's convenient for Kent to follow the science to understand where the whale hip bones are used in mating, but he won't follow the science where it talks about the origins of them.
Right. So it's either, so you can't say that science and scientists say that those bones were useless, and also science says that they're used in mating.
Oh, remember that's on screen. That's our friend Tyler West here. And yeah, very Duke Nukem vibes. Very, very strong facial features. I love it. Dude's tall too. Remember, me and him have actually hung out for a very short period when the 90-degree Kentucky sun isn't blasting you and causing you to halfway want to pass out.
Well, wait. I show on my video number 4, many of the science books do simply say they're vestigial, and they do not go on and say they're used in mating. Some do, some don't.
Yeah, but you pulled up, the last time you pulled up a slide, it was 35 years old.
Sure. Darwin's book is 150 years old. Why don't we throw that out? Would you believe it?
No one cares about Darwin's book at this stage. It's an interesting piece of history, but it serves no practical purpose in the grand scientific research. We're well past that. This isn't what you think it is. Science doesn't work the way you think it does, Kent.
Throw Darwin's book out.
And in 1919...
Should we throw Darwin's book out? It's 150 years old. 175 years old.
No, you don't throw it out, but Darwin's book is considered way out of date. So he got a lot of things. He got a lot of things wrong. He got a lot of right. And so the science, you don't worship. Nobody worships Darwin. You move on and you discover new things. But in
So it's okay for me,
1990,
wait, slow down. Is it okay for me to?
No, Kent didn't buy himself a SpongeBob Nightlight. One of his cult followers bought it for him. Kent buy anything with his own money? Hell no. He has to use other people's money.
Quote a science book that's 35 years old since I made my slides 35 years ago before they took me to prison for 10 years. Yeah, that's the books I had. Send me a new book and I'll show you this. They're still teaching the same lies.
Up yours, Kent. Get your own goddamn recent book.
yeah, but they don't teach that anymore. That's the point.
You don't think they teach, Google that, Joseph. Vestigial whale hip bones. I guarantee it's in there tonight.
My point is, you did not.
Is that Gary Busey? Man, what is with people? Everyone's being unhinged. Be it an open stream or here. You're awesome, Tyler.
Or no creationist made the discovery that those whale bones have function. It was scientists. It was marine biology.
How can you say such a thing? You don't know any such thing, Pluto. You're talking off the top of your head. You don't know that nobody saw this. They've been whaling and cutting up whales for centuries. They've been whaling shit. People have known about those little bones for thousands of years. And they knew they're just part of the whale anatomy. You don't know that no creationist did that. You want to take credit where credit is not due. Here we go. Yes, whale pelvic bones are still taught as an example of vestigial structures and evolutionary biology. Called up today, December 11th, 2025.
And the vestigial, which means can be a reduced function. Or
how do you know it's reduced function? They function just fine as is.
They don't function for, supporting legs, Kent. But you don't know they ever did that. But obviously they did, because that's what the reduced structure is. It's a goddamn hip bone. If it was specifically needed for reproduction, it would be specifically designed for that. It wouldn't have hip bone features. Your claims of common design kind of break apart when you realize that simplicity is a hallmark of design, and these features would be engineered if everything was created specifically for that purpose and wouldn't be connected to anything else morphologically. That's just not how stuff actually works.
Because I was going to say, in 1919, a whale was caught that had legs, not nubs. I mean, I'm talking about legs with bones in them, and in the feet at the
I'm gonna have to check that out because I didn't know that.
end were malformed. They look like club feet. So whales do have the DNA. They have the genes for legs. And then
I'd like to see this. I don't believe your story. I want to see the documentation of that. I don't believe that at all.
Yeah, 1919 female humpback.
There've been a deformed whale.
Hey, Kent, look it up on Google. Call it up today. Joseph can't look that up right now. He can't look it up, Kent? Why can't he look it up?
Animals are deformed. That proves they all used to be. Is that
and we have whale fossils. We have whale fossils of whales with tiny, diminutive legs that they couldn't even reach the ground.
I don't believe that either. Don't believe that. And what good would that do? Yeah. What good does a whale leg that doesn't even reach the ground?
Yeah.
That's just it. That's why it atrophied away completely in the species. They were once useful when they were land creatures, but as they adapted to the water, legs not needed. Oh, a leg didn't develop all the way? That's cool. It doesn't hurt the creature. Those genomes continue. Next thing you know, holy shit, the legs are gone. What sorcery is this?
That's a good question. What good would that do? The only thing in that they actually it's a hindrance to the animal. And
just imagine it used to be a leg. That's what you want to do, don't you?
Can you just imagine it?
I just want to point that during the stream I've been sharpening a 50-year-old buck 110 knife, and holy fuck, I've got it pretty sharp. I'm still gonna have it rebladed, but man, this thing that's pretty cool.
They can get broken. The shark, for example, could grab onto it. It could become infected. So it is more advantageous for the whale to not have these small, little tiny legs that are no longer doing any good whatsoever. So we see in the fossil.
Think
We
about the
see in the
sentence you just
fossils.
said. Shut him off for a second, Joseph. Okay, he wanted to stop when I went.
Shut him off. I gotta mute him. Up there you go. There's the face right there. The
no longer do what they once did.
we gotta look at that again. That reaction. It's so perfect. Watch this. Watch our friend Pluto here.
Him off for a second, Joseph. Okay, he wanted to stop when I went. That they no longer do what they once did.
You can see it. You can see it where he hears. He can't say shut him off, Joseph. He's just like, oh, again. I mean, what else can you do? It's just like, of course. How many of us in watching these streams make that same gesture? Every single stream at least once. Oh, God, I love Creationist Crybaby and Pluto Pilot. Whenever they call into Kent's show, you're in for a good time.
You are determined to make yourself believe they used to be legs. There's no evidence of that. If they have a bone sticking out of their abdomen that is a deformed, some people are born with 6 fingers or 7 fingers. What does that mean? Some people are born with, messed up teeth features in their face or eye, or deformities happen all the time.
Or in their entire sense of right and wrong, Holvend.
That's not evidence they all used to have a leg. Now stop. Okay, go ahead. Turn him on.
You can't just tell somebody, now stop. Fuck you, Kent.
There were 2 legs, one on each side. They had bones.
I don't believe your story. I want to see the documentation.
Pull it up, asshole.
Okay.
Where's this whale? Where's this whale now? Where's this whale right now? Did they put it in the museum?
I can let me see if I can bring.
show
I
the
mean,
data.
I'm on my phone right now. I cannot give you a slide, or I don't have slides for this, but you can look it up.
Tomorrow night, same thing. Bring.
The dogs have detected the scent of the Hovend. They are ready to strike.
Call in tomorrow night. Show me the data.
All right, I'll see if I can find it. But they were and it shows that this was like a birth defect. It was a leftover remnant.
There you go again.
The DNA did not get shut off during embryonic development, which they usually do.
Or
Yeah, that's the nature of the point mutations. Those are one of the elements of them. I think is that's one of the spots where key on and off things happen. Hence the multiple digits, because humans are actually genetically apparently predisposed to have 6 fingers. Counting the thumb as a finger, which it technically isn't, but we're supposed to have 6 digits, apparently. But there's a thing that turns that off. That's just like a standard, like, okay, we're just gonna go with the 5. Hence that slight proclivity sometimes for an extra digit to form. And so it makes sense too that same kind of thing where the genetics is there for the legs in the whale, but it just gets turned off. And then once it starts building it, it's like, where do we go from here? And the genetic code is just like, I don't know. That's in the archives. I don't know what the hell to do. So you just get those not nubs in this case, although you can get nubs, but in this particular case, construction got really far before, it was genetics was like, hey, we can't go any further with this. That's at least my take on this.
the DNA got messed up and it produced something it shouldn't have. What about the cow that I show with a leg growing out of its back?
Well,
I don't have my slides up right now, but
the point is whales have DNA for legs.
That would be an absorbed twin, Kent. R and Ra has gone into detail on those slides that you constantly show. That's not the mutation you think it is.
No, they don't.
They get absorbed in.
No, they don't. Yes, they do, Kent.
The embryonic development.
Okay, you believe what you want, but that's not science. Show me the data.
All right.
Okay, call tomorrow night. I like that one. The whale evidence grew legs and walked away. Yep. Okay. All right, next one.
Get mad at Yamato for using magic words that scare people, but Hovind can be a piece of shit like that, and it's cool.
A couple more questions. We'll get out of here.
Okay. Question for how does a person get married biblically? Well, the state does not.
Thanks, Tyler. I was wondering. Yeah, of course there was no link to join Friday. Why would there be?
Have to be involved. I mean, there was no such thing as a marriage license in America until after the Civil War. For centuries, the church did weddings, wilt thou and she wilts and all this kind of stuff or whatever happened. And So it's a church covenant marriage, a covenant. You covenant together. And then the state realized, hey, we can make money off of this. We will sell you a license to do something you already could do if you want. We're glad to sell it to you for $35. And then you got to get their permission to get divorced again. So it's not necessary. People do, and but you can if you want. I'm not against it or for it. I'm just saying it's not a requirement. There was no such thing after the Civil War. Some people in the South, some white people, there's no such thing as a white person, but white people want to marry black people, and there's no such thing as a black person. There's different shades of brown. Okay, but the Southerners who lost the war said, "Man, we don't like that. You got to get our permission to marry somebody who's not your race." There's only one race called the human race.
You know, honestly, I'm probably going to have to go and check out Clint's Reptiles, like, and just throw it a sub for more interesting content, because I need a little bit of refreshing content in my life.
Different skin colors. There's different skin colors of cows, too. You know, they look the same in the meat locker and taste the same on the hamburger. So the whole thing about a marriage license came after the Civil War. Like I said, Abe Lincoln didn't have one. Nobody did before that. So it was a church was involved. Now, if you want to get the state involved, that's up to you. Feel free. Okay. Kent, why do you ask for evidence for evolution, then claim that hyperspeciation occurred?
Speaking of creationist crybaby, how you doing? Good to see you and Hoven stream there, buddy.
After Noah's Ark. That's the question. He's got two different topics and mixed together in there. That's not a
Oh, boo fucking who?
legitimate question.
It's not a legitimate Seriously?
Noah's Ark. That's the question. He's got two different topics and mixed together in there. That's not a legitimate question.
Let's see. I see a subject and a predicate, a question mark at the end indicating it's an interrogative statement. The syntax is valid and understandable. Kent, the person being spoken to, why do you, Kent, ask for evidence of evolution, then claim that hyperspeciation occurred after Noah's Ark, a speciation mentioned in no culture's history in the world? That's a complete statement. You claim there's a hyperspeciation after the Ark. However, you simultaneously request to see evidence for evolution while claiming that there is a case of hyperspeciation. Why, acknowledging hyperspeciation, then do you ask for evidence of evolution in general when the two are one and the same? Of course, this statement is far too complex for your pea brain to parse, so you just go to claim it's not a legitimate question. Yes, Kent, it is.
I don't claim hyperspeciation happened.
Yeah, you and all creationists do.
I think animals have adapted to their environment within the limits of what's already in the gene code. Some of it's done by people doing it, selective breeding that people do, like dog kennels. They can selectively breed dogs. I told the story about that lady in one church I was at someplace. She said, my family's been in the dog kennel business for 100 years, 3 generations. She said, I promise you, give us some generic dogs off the street. We will, through selective breeding, create a Great Dane and a Chihuahua and everything in between in 100 years. That's called it's artificial selection. Now, natural selection.
Hey, Kent, you realize that if people were to have found the bones of a lot of these doggos, especially in isolated pockets, millennia from now, and had no record of dog species from this era, they might well classify them all as different species, even though from our point of view, they're the same, because it's all relative. We're dealing with gradations of life. Gradations, I should say, of life.
Also works. You turn all the dogs loose in Alaska, only the thick fur ones are going to survive. Come back in 5 years, none of the Great Danes are left because they got thin fur and long, skinny legs, and they can't make it up there. So nature selects, but it doesn't create anything. Evolutionists want to give nature, natural selection, a creative ability, which it does not have. So is that the end of it?
Yeah, that was it.
Okay. Thank you so much. It's been a long day today. Oh, one more. Jimmy, brother, love you. Such a fireball. Hope the Lord allows you to stick around till you're 100. Amen. Maybe we can get taken out of here alive after the tribulation. Looking forward to that, by the way. Boy, me too. I'm ready to go. I don't want to.
Hey, thanks, Mark Egan. Sorry you're coming in at the tail end, but happy to see you. Definitely go through and check out the stream once I'm done. I think it was a pretty good one this time around. And a reminder to everyone here, if you have the time and are willing to go through recent streams, old streams, what have you, and timestamp the beginnings and ends of really, really good segments for me to make short clip videos from. That would be awesome.
I go today or tomorrow, but I mean, they may die in the last thing I do, but it's going to happen. I just don't want to be there when it happens. That's all. Okay. See you tomorrow night. Bye.
Go to hell, Kent. All right, and that is the end of that. Woohoo! He's correct about the fact that there aren't different races of humans. The reason he comes across this is wrong, but he's right. There's no races, only ethnicities. Yeah, exactly. Our ethnic background, our genetic heritage, the variations that make particular isolated human populations otherwise distinct. But we're still all Homo sapien. The old days, churches kept records of marriage and not the government as it is now. Yeah, it's really that simple. Plus the benefits and requirements that the government recognition of the marriage provides, like tax status, etc. That's the reason they started doing the whole license thing. And these permits are always, the fees are paid to cover the clerical costs. That's supposed to be the idea. Now, while my own socio-political structure, of course, implies that the fees wouldn't exist because, again, I'm socialist as all fuck, and the government would serve the people instead of billionaires. Still, that's the logistics of where this stuff goes. It's like I hate people complaining about renewing their vehicle registration. It's like, I just pay for a sticker. It's like, no, you're paying a license fee for your vehicle to be registered with the state. It's just how this works. Everyone wants to abstract things down and not realize what they're really doing, that the sticker just is representation of the fact that they paid. And Davey Mo, hey there, buddy, says, I see Kent's picture of Simon Dan in the background. Someone should ask him why Simon Dan debunk flat earthers and also debunk Kent. What would those have in common? Yeah, he'll dance around it like he always does. I can't mimic Hovind on exactly how he dances around. It's like, well, the flat earthers are wrong, but I'm right. He's right when it comes to the flat earth, but he's wrong when it comes to evolution, because that's just Kent's view. Science is absolutely perfect and flawless, except when it conflicts with his particular worldview. So, yeah. Meanwhile, my worldview adapts with the facts, with reality. I don't know. Just seems like one makes more sense than the other. But right, that was a pretty damn awesome stream. I'm glad everyone was here to hang out. We all had some fun. I hope you did. If you came in late, go back and rewatch some stuff. Like I said, and I can't stress this enough, please leave comments at timestamps of areas that should be clipped out and made into their own little individual video segments. That would be freaking awesome. That being said, much love. I'll catch you next time. Ending with Polyphonics comics. Ethnic groups are also heavily social constructed. This too is true. But yeah, I'm out. Catch y'all later. I think I'm gonna try to stream again at least one more time.